Welcome to the second video in our ELITE Method Toolkit tutorial series. In this video, I'm going to cover how to use the Target Audience Roles tool for Step 2, Learn. It's important that you've done Step 1, Examine, before getting to this point, because everything builds on what you did in the step prior. So if you haven't yet watched the first video, go ahead and do that now. You can find a link to the full playlist of tutorial videos in the description below and in the PDF guide you received via email. Now let's get into it. This is your Target Audience Roles tool. The key to every good B2B marketing strategy is understanding that you're not speaking to other businesses. You're speaking to the humans within those businesses. And we have to understand what the internal and external lived experiences of those humans are. So for this exercise, first you're going to identify who are all of the people that you would want to connect with. Who could either be a decision maker or a gatekeeper to choosing your company? Now let's talk about decision makers and gatekeepers for a second. Oftentimes, B2B companies make the mistake of thinking that they really only need to talk to the CEO, the CFO, CMO, CRO, all of those C-suite individuals who are really hard to reach and very selective with their time, energy, and attention. In fact, those C-suite individuals, those big decision makers, are not usually the ones that you want to focus on in the beginning. You want to start with the gatekeepers. When you think about the gatekeepers, these are the people who've been tasked with doing initial research to create a short list of options for the company. So let's say you run a cybersecurity solutions company and you know that the CEO, maybe the CIO or the CISO, is going to be the one making the final decision. However, they probably have a director of IT, director of cybersecurity, IT manager, or IT director putting together a short list of options that they'll then present to the decision maker. And it's that gatekeeper who you need to appeal to first. If you make the gatekeeper's life easier, if you capture their attention when they're first seeking out information, trying to do their best for their boss, not only are you going to win favor with that gatekeeper, but that gatekeeper, whether leaders like to admit it or not, has influence over how that decision maker perceives the options that have been shortlisted and put in front of him or her. So be sure you're thinking about the gatekeepers as well. You don't want a marketing strategy that only speaks to the decision makers if you have to go through the gatekeepers to get to them. Also, think about the people that you want to talk to in terms of their roles rather than their specific job titles. It's very tempting to think of the people that you're trying to reach by job titles. That's the way most marketing strategies are built. However, the truth is that a lot of companies use interchangeable job titles to refer to a single role within a company. For example, you might be going after CHROs or directors of HR. However, what if that company uses the term HR director or vice president of human resources? All of those people might ultimately hold the same function within any of the companies that you would want to work with, but they all have different job titles. So the role that you want to go after is more of a collective reference term that points you in the direction of multiple different job titles. For example, instead of listing out Director of HR as role A, and then Vice President of Human Resources as role B, identify one term that encapsulates the role those individuals fill within a company rather than a job title. In this example, we would use a term like human resources leader. Once you've listed out all of the various decision maker and gatekeeper roles that you want to speak to, you can move on to the next column to fill in the typical titles that those people might hold. By doing this, you're getting less distracted by the actual job title that the person holds, and instead you're focusing on their role within the company, the tasks they perform, and why they care about your solution. Next, indicate if that person is a decision maker or a gatekeeper. Then, what are the broader responsibilities and objectives for someone who fulfills each role within the company? What does this person ultimately care about, and who do they answer to? If they're at the top of the food chain within an organization, they may answer to a founder or a board of directors, so don't forget about those people, as they often exert influence over the people you want to reach. Next, at which stage of the sales funnel does this person get involved? Typically, with decision makers, they get involved in the decision and action stages. Gatekeepers are usually the ones you want to appeal to within the brand awareness, interest, and decision stages. Finally, prioritize which role is going to have the biggest impact for your business. If you were to target only one role on this list, which one would be the most valuable to your company? Once you've done that, you're going to rename this tab here. So where it says role 1, let's say your number 1 priority role is HR leaders. Double click on this tab. and change role 1 to HR leader. The next step is for us to create your stages of change matrix, which is a psychological profile of each of the roles that you want to reach out to. If there are multiple roles that you want to reach out to, you're going to right-click on this tab and hit duplicate. Then rename this title with the role title of your second priority person, and so on. You can create as many tabs as you want and as many psychological profiles as you need. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about how to use the Stages of Change Matrix tool for step 2, learn. Remember, I'm walking you through our ELITE method, and it's important that you follow the steps in order. ELITE. Examine, learn, implement, transform, enhance. Subscribe to the playlist in the description below to make sure you get all of the tutorial videos so I can help you build your psychology-driven marketing strategy every step of the way.